We are live. Okay, I am just going to set up the tablets. I know I'm live. Yes, that. Okay. Let's see, images, large files. It's into this week. No. Twitter. Oh yeah. There you are. Now I'm going to need to look up supposed to look. Japanese. Traditional. Just don't mind me. Okay, that looks to be flat. So. Somebody just came in and left. Hang on. Just going to share this. Okay. Wish these pop-ups wouldn't get in the flipping way. I'm going to be working on this. I do not like the lag. To anyone who might be watching, I've finished this up. Hoping I did a good job. So inking the plans is annoying, but a welcome challenge. I'm hoping that I've got the moon just right. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to share this. Live right now. Come join us. Going live. Doing stuff live. Just quickly catch up on my notifications. Things. Okay, what the hell is this? Are there any hidden comments? Okay. I am not going through all of that. We should block Frosty's. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to give that a good read afterwards. Let's see where we got so far. Okay, no one. I will get into drawing just a bit. So I really need to get better at doing setting up live streams. Load, damn it. Good. No, I do. Go away. Stupid pop-ups. We made this improvement that we think you might like. And now we're going to annoy you until you actually accept our bullshit. Because we don't know how to make fucking sense of anything. Na-di-da-di-da. That's a group. Put you in a group. Where's my links? Anybody here yet? No. Get you. Spotify, PayPal. Right then, I am going. Okay, this things make it interesting. And nobody here? No. No. What topic should I have today? Now that I think about it, I don't really prepare topics, do I? Um, well, as far as my superhero universe is coming along, I have created a new cast of characters because it's not like I don't have enough already to figure out, but they do solve a little bit of a problem I had with some of the world building, specifically in regards to Vigilante X, because part of his story is that he got inspired to do what he's currently doing in the story. Well, let's face it, there isn't already a superhero group operating. Who's he being inspired by? A reckless slave? No. So so I've invented like a whole new group loosely based on the Teen Titans, basically, and well, that's all going well. And it sort of helped me figure out a bit more of the cosmic aspect of my universe. And why the Teen Titans exactly? Because I really, 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 and I stress this, I really liked the 2003 TV show. And sort of randomly one day, I decided I really liked that TV show. I wonder what what else they did with it. I've just been diving into rock-powered fan fictions with the Titans, and I've come up with some interesting ideas, and some of them make a bit more sense to do as original stories. So just kind of need to adapt them, as you will. Okay, I'm gonna use you. Just switch you off. Lower you down a bit. I'm gonna start making you. So his face. Yeah. Um, I've sort of come up with a couple of interesting villains that I definitely want to adapt. That's sort of that's all more reflective of my writing style. I can't really go into too much, but actually, one I can, because I'm not sure how I would incorporate something like this, but it's like one of these grok-powered fanfics. I created a villain in the form of the Entity. Basically, in a climatic battle with Trigon, Raven and basically her soulmate basically used the Spear of Destiny to slay him, and as the infernal realm is sort of collapsing on itself, they're sort of lost for about 10 or so years. The thing is, they've been in another realm called the Reverie, and they've been constantly stalked by this thing called the Entity. It's like this ominous, shapeless, eerie, glowing blue thing that wails at them, can sort of melt rocks, etc. And it's not easy to sort of describe with just words, but the way that I've got it in my head, the Entity is like the last thing you want to tangle with. Everything about it just sort of screams wrong, but you can never place your finger on why it screams wrong. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't care that you're not from the Entity. What you take, you have to give back. That is the law of the Reverie. And of course, if you're stuck there for a good 10 years and you got no way else back, and you didn't actually intend to go there, well, that can kind of cause problems. Especially when you're also logging about 5 kids around with you as well. who have only ever known sort of like life in the reverie and are now struggling to adapt to a normal life. I said doing my research on it's like ways that Trigon can be defeated. I did not know there was a live action Teen Titans TV show on the CW. I'm gonna have to look into that later. I mean, I knew about Superman and Lois. I should have watched that more often. I mean, it was very interesting. The catching the tail end of wolves. I think the first episode. And we're just like, oh, what's going on? What is this? Oh, it looks a bit like Superman. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of interesting, but I have sort of figured out the only ways that you can defeat Trigon, basically. You, well, there's the age-old one that they use, where Raven masters her emotions and can force Trigon out. Yeah, I think I mentioned this last stream also, but that's one of the ways you can defeat Trigon. But that's only temporary. Another way is to somehow acquire the Book of Destiny from Destiny itself and sort of rewrite fate, but that is highly irresponsible and reckless. So you kind of wanted to think of another way to approach that. You can use the Spear of Destiny. I mean, that is, in theory, powerful enough to destroy a demon lord. And so in this fanfic with the Reverie and the Entity, that's like what they use at the beginning to defeat Trigon. And defeating a demon lord like Trigon also involves collapsing his entire realm. The fourth way would be to make a cage out of Element X that you can use to bind him to a pocket dimension where you can't really interfere. I mean, it kind of works within DC lore because Element X is like the building blocks of the universe, and it's a very highly desired material. So that's an option. Or you can sort of somehow convince the presence to defeat Trigon for you. But that's like ice skating uphill, and it's not going to always work, is it? So those are the different ways that I find you can sort of theoretically defeat Trigon without introducing Deus Ex Machina and fan fiction nonsense. Yep. Well, that's kind of something that you can use rock for to when you're working on something, you can just be like, "Hey, Grok, keeping within the canon of DC Comics continuity, what are the different ways that this character could be theoretically beaten, or how were these plot threads resolved originally? Would X character do? Would said character do X thing and all that?" So yeah, people really, really are sleeping on AI at the moment. I mean, not I get not everybody likes the idea of using AI in their stories and all that. But as I stressed last stream, AI is a tool. Learn to use it to enhance your art. You learn to use it to enhance your writing, and not etc. I mean, using you can use it to sort of basically write characters for a whole universe, as long as you got things like the universe Bible to keep the logic consistent. You could, in theory, just like write whole characters. You could create whole profiles for them. The other sort of interesting villain is more tied to an original character I made, rather than basically be part of this Teen Titans inspired group. I mean, Harry Joins is still going to be the same. Found one rainy night by the Raven's stand-in, who discovers that he has special powers he doesn't quite understand how to control, so she takes him into the group, and from there he sort of learns to use his skills properly as he fights crime. Half an hour and still nobody. Had a couple of people pop in and then disappear almost immediately. Yeah, I am thinking of just sort of using StreamYard actually. I mean, I do have an account with them, but I don't really pay for the subscription, so it more or less be the free tier, which works well enough for me. So I'm going to show you this on the Drink of Crazy server. On that bar is streaming, so it's Critical Drinker and Bailey J. Notifications. Okay. Recent activity. Let's see. Put my reference back for the architecture. I wish people would turn up. Right? I'm not asking for much. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky with the algorithm or something, and then everybody will want to see me do some inking. Still no one? Yeah. Answer in the comments if you're watching this on the replay, but I have noticed that there is a lot of robot chicken going on YouTube right now. I don't know what algorithm I hit. I'm getting a lot of robot chicken shorts. Yeah, I'm not joking. I'm just constantly getting that in my recommendations. I don't mind, but it's weird that I keep getting that. Why do people keep running away when they come in? Don't be shy. Come and say hi. I'm friendly. honest. Why should drink White Claw? Why? Well, clearly you've not been interneting much in that community. Um, I've got Victoria Beer ads on the mind. Sounds like kids outside. Miss Hour? Oh. Funny thing I have to design later. Earlier date. I have to figure out how to make a dragon cat work in my superhero universe. Why a dragon cat? Because my niece decided one of my characters needed a dragon cat as a pet. Yeah. I don't mind the idea because it would actually work with this particular character. who is more of the Starfire stand-in. Okay. I mean, one thing I really do actually need to figure out more for my Super Universe is figuring out more what villains for them to fight, because last thing I want is to have the same recurring cast of villains that should have been ended about 2 weeks ago. So coming in to be the recurring threats. I mean, it does make sense to have recurring threats within reason, but there's only so many times you can just reuse the same character over and over again before they wear out their welcome. So, I mean, with the two villains I invented through my Teen Titans fanfics that were powered by Grok, they're very situational. I mean, how often is the entity going to turn up? It's like this malevolent force from another dimension. Not very likely. And the other villain is very much some kind that's personally tied to one particular character. So they're not really going to be a recurring threat like, say, the Enforcers would be. Bonus points if you know who the Enforcers are. But, yeah. Recurring threats do make sense. But so do more original villains here and there. Who we got? Just doing a bit of inking and chatting about my superhero universe until people give me things to talk about. It's usually how these things go, isn't it? I mean, I'm just sort of trying to finish up this commission that I need to get a crack on with. So that's what I'm doing. If you want to commission me, you just use the link in chat. I'll take you to my PayPal. Ooh, while I remember, I should also my X accounts. Yeah. If you want to commission me, do so via my PayPal and send me a DM with the details to my X account. And I'll get on with it sometime. Well, actually, it would be sometime next month, right? There's no 31st this month. So, yeah, I suppose that would probably make sense. Let me know if there's a topic you want me to talk about. I'm more than welcome to chat with my chat. Because otherwise I'm going to get very quiet. Happens a lot when I'm concentrating. And don't be afraid to share the stream out as well. Don't be afraid to subscribe either. Okay. I mean, so far I'm just sort of outlining this ninja character, so I know exactly where the boundaries are. I'm going to do the background on a separate layer. Oh, we got 2 people. Hello. Don't be shy. Say hi. And nobody ever says hi. Yeah, I wish I'd come up with that when I was live streaming with Royce on Comic Shop Wednesday. Him with his, I see you in the chat, lurkers. I could just, don't be shy, say hi. And then a whole bunch of them will just probably go, hi, 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 hi. Oh. It'd be a bit like him when Eric is just sort of says, everybody type business in the chat now. And it's just like a whole stream of business. It's a shame that Voice isn't doing live streams anymore. I mean, I kind of get why he doesn't. After some asshole tried to pull off his wife on the internet last year, but it does kind of suck because I miss his witty banter in his live stream. Oh no! But, we are having technical difficulties, unfortunately. Let's hope this reconnects. Actually, hang on. I'm just going to reopen screen. Lost connection. Yes. We lost connection, so we're hoping you press this button to. Why would I press the button to open the screen if I want to use? Tell me if I want to be connected or not. Start now. Okay. Right. There we go. Share. That annoying pop-up. Right. We lost somebody during the technical difficulties. I blame the Unicorn Mafia. Oh, they're back. Thank you. I'll send it to you right after this stream. I mean, hang on. See if that stops pixelating. Business is my friend. Well, okay. It's not coming in very clear, is it? Yeah, I can notice the pixelation already on my on the stream, but yeah. I'll send you a copy of that after the stream. Right now, I'm going to get back to this ninja. I mean, unless you want me to make the samurai black for some reason. I mean, apparently there were black samurai in Japan. Did you know that? Uh, because I was not expecting that, whatever you call them, to wear one. Like the did touch. Thank you very much. I wasn't really sure what color his outfit was supposed to be, but considering that it was nighttime, I figured it's like a deep blue would work. I mean, well, it's actually more in the realm of Shinobi, but they wouldn't strictly wear jet black at night, nor would they wear white either. Because this is the belief that if they wore jet black, then they would show up perfectly in the light of the full moon. So they would always avoid wearing black. They would more likely wear grey or navy blue instead. And of course, white is a very contrasting colour. And it sort of reflects all the light very, very well, so you wouldn't want to wear that either. I hope I got the skin tone right. Because well, if you look at Chinese people, they've got a yellow tinge to their skin. But with Japanese, how you doing? But with Japanese, there's a slight difference in the skin color because they tend to have a slightly more peachy, bordering slightly on orange, as opposed to yellow. I mean, it's subtle, but if you see them side by side, you see the difference. Not really sure about Koreans that much, but I'm sure they've got unique pigmentation as well. Let's see. Let's just connect that. Tomorrow I'm going to try and test a new camera that I got this week because I tried to do a let's read a comic, sort of John Lombok style. The previous week, I think, but camera quality wasn't exactly great. So I hope this new camera I've got actually does do things in HD. And if it does, we're going to be reading Yaira 1 tomorrow. I enjoyed reading Blood. It's pretty good. Yeah. I quite enjoyed reading Bloodriff as well. But I still have to say that Edward Crowley, I think that's his name, isn't it? He's a bit of an idiot. He's all like, oh yeah, I just had this great party. I summoned about 3 demons and a devil. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, the guests are dead. That's a pity. Deary me. I think Bloodriff would sort of right to him, keep him on a leash. It's like, bloody hell. He can't be that stupid. Yeah, let's just summon a devil. What's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah, I nearly died. I've also been enjoying. Well, I enjoyed reading Yaira 2 and the Great War of Separation. I mean, Yaira 2. Oh man. In Yaira 3, there is going to be a reckoning. Because how am I going to put this without too much spoilers? Let's just say that Stefiana is going to do something completely stupid. And it's going to raise like several questions about how the world is going to react to this. One thing that she's going to do, and I hope Brian Solari stops her. He goes, yeah, I get she's angry, but there are sort of like limits to how you can conduct yourself on an international scale. As for the Great War of Separation, well, I am definitely going to get part 2 at some point. And I'm definitely going to be using the Hero Stash feature as well. Because I don't mind paying for shipping, but shipping at the moment is very expensive for international buyers. Yeah, then I'll read the Great War of Separation. I haven't ordered, but not coming up. A little heads up, Parts of it will be in Spanish. Okay, so specifically when the Mexican characters are talking to each other, that's going to be all in Spanish for some reason. Well, part Spanish. You can sort of make out a bit of English here and there. I mean, it's probably just like the most political the Ripverse is going to get for a while. As it does actually deal with politics. But not in the way that mainstream Marvel and DC would. Yeah. But one fan theory somebody suggested that I wholeheartedly disagree with is that somebody thinks that Michael Copper might have started the war of separation by sort of getting people to instigate the initial attack that escalates everything. I mean, it's sort of all part of the opening act, but I don't somehow see Michael Copper being responsible for it. Because I don't think he was an adult just yet. I think if we're talking, it's like in terms of age, he might be more around Avery's age. I mean, Dokimon has basically sort of traced his lineage back to somewhere in Tennessee. So there's basically birth certificates, etc., that exist to prove when he was born and all, but quite honestly, I don't see him having a hand in the Great War of Separation that early. Actually, were you there for when I was talking about the entity earlier this stream? I can't remember now. I was talking about this villain that I invented for a Teen Titans fanfic. That Zaylon character looks good. So good. I'm also going to get Zaylon as well. Yeah, I sort of invented this character for Teen Titans fanfic. I'm not really going to post or anything, but it just all made a lot of sense to try and incorporate into projects that all make sense for it. It's but now that I think about it, visually speaking, it's probably going to look a bit more like No Face from Spirited Away, but as a ethereal blue instead of like black and white. Because I'll probably reiterate here. The NC is sort of the enforcer of the reverie, where basically Raven and second original characters will end up after they defeat Trigon with the Spear of Destiny. And they sort of spend 10 hellish years there, so trying to survive and find a way out as well. Raising a family. Because when you've been chased by a killer thing that wants you dead, raising a family is the most logical thing you can do. Yeah, I think I talked about this sort of last stream, didn't I? I just noticed he's doing rooster steps. That is the correct technical term, isn't it? Rooster steps. I'm kind of curious as to when the Black Eye Club is coming out. Because I really do want to know more about Michael Copper and why he's such a big deal in the Ripperverse. Yeah. It is Rooster Steps, isn't it? Because in Alpha Core, he fumbled big time, and now the Alpha Cores are onto him, so he can't operate with complete impunity because every action he's going to take is now going to be monitored by the Alpha Core. And in Bloodroof, he sort got calmed out of owning a castle. It really does make me wonder why he wanted that castle in particular. I mean, it can't be related to a certain door that was hidden there, could it? Um, yeah. So far, it's 2 losses for him. Yet for some reason, he's never really that phased by it. So I kind of want to understand what his thought process is so far. I mean, how can you just all casually wave off having the super cops breathing down your neck and losing out on a potentially dangerous castle with things that could benefit whatever it is you're scheming for? But he also seems to be very all about the contracts as well. So I don't think he was too surprised about losing the castle. Perhaps he knew better than to try and challenge the contract because, well, they say the devil's in the detail and all, right? So part of his power might be that he can make contracts for people, but when it comes to paying up, that might be where the snag is. So like all your worldly desires, catered to. And all you have to do is sign a piece of paper. I mean, Lillian was rightly pissed. The copper was like, no, we don't challenge this, basically. That was his response. So I reckon he knows more about those kinds of projects that he's lighting on. And it's like that scene where they were finalizing the details, and you sort of see little flashes of their personalities when I think Bloodwood was trying to gauge who they were on a spiritual level. You had Michael Copper was like a couple of scenes and flashes of him throwing punches and all that. And when it came to Lillian, you just sort of see because it's right across her bodice. It's like her sort of pinky purple eyes sort of glowing, staring right back. So I'm wondering what that's about. But another thing, well, that's around the time of Ice and Bond as well. So I'm trying to figure out if that's sort of like before or after the scene at Club Merc. Because Lillian was sort of talking about sort of like how they need to apply scale in their next approach. And they were also like talking about their previous project. So I'm wondering if that's going to be something tied to a future Alpha Core issue. And if I remember correctly, Eric wasn't really sure if he was going to include that scene or not. But I'm actually glad he did, because that was like a smooth transition to what Avi was up to out back. You know, your scribbles on the foot, you don't have to add that in. All right. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. But these are probably where the deep shadows are going to be. So. Yeah. Kind of, it's just me calling him in mind. Alright. Well, one thing I always struggle with is like knowing where to put the shadows. I mean, deep shadows in general. So this is actually like a helpful guideline for me, because I sort of know, roughly speaking, like where the shadow should fall. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, okay. Actually, do you know what the Ripperverse actually needs? It needs a character like the Saint. I mean, have you ever watched the TV series The Saints with Roger Moore? I reckon a character like that would do well in the Ripperverse. I mean, he's sort of in a way a secret agent of sorts. But my dad watched it, so I've watched it all the time. Yeah, so you know what I mean when I say we need a character like that in the Ripperverse. I wonder if that's what the third private investigator is going to be like. Because we have the salvage, who's more about sort of like returning lost property. So, yes. We have Saoirse, who's basically a femme fatale in the vein of sort of like Blonde Ice. So why not have someone like the Saints? I mean, I'm sure at some point Eric must have watched the show. Because he was into all the old murder mystery shows like I know he mentioned Columbo, but I'm also wondering if he's watched stuff like The Saint or I don't know, some Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot. I wonder if he's watched Heartbeat. It's good taste because they were good shows. I only ever actually watched one Columbo episode, but the initial plot was all basically this woman goes missing. She does so because she wanted to sell a magazine company for like a huge profit. And Columbo's all trying to figure out, okay, where the hell is she? Is she even alive and all that? And then the bad guy sort of kills her. basically. And I love Columbo. And of course, the police chief was like, "Oh no, she's doing her silly stunts again." But Columbo wasn't buying it, and so basically nabbed him as a killer after sending a message to her wristwatch thing that she's got that can apparently pick up telegrams. Okay. So yeah, I don't really have to do these little squiggly lines. I'm going to carefully erase. One that I wish I could actually find again. A show that I watched like one episode of it. It was like one summer. What was it called? Emily Queen. That was it. But the whole shtick of that one was at some point they would find he would find a clue or have a revelation about something. Is like, and if you've been paying attention as well, you might have already figured it out. So it's like one of the few that would address the audience, breaking the fourth wall. I mean, among other shows similar to that, I watched Inspector Morse. I watched Lewis. I swear there was a show set after that called The Return of Inspector Morse, which I'm curious to see how that would work because only Jack Thor could play Inspector Morse, according to a will according to Colin Dexter's will, legally stipulating that only that actor could. Yeah. I know of it, but I've never really watched it. That never really appealed to me. And I didn't really like Miss Marple either. But I did sort of watch Man in the Brown Suit. I love that movie. And the thing with the Saint is, because I did try to look it up before, I was like, okay, how many seasons of this show were there? There was like 3 with Roger Moore, 1 they did with another actor, but then there's sort of like being something like 2 dozen attempts to revive this series, and I was like, what the hell? There's been more attempts to revive it than there have been shows. Okay. the first episode of the Saint that I actually watched, it sort of involved you had the Japanese that were making these little mini camera bomb things. And he sort of has to team up with the KGB to figure out who's actually making them and sort of blowing them up, etc. And I always thought they should have done more with his relationship with the Russian girl, because that could have been like a very compelling series-long arc where she sort of has to reassess where her loyalties are, if you know what I mean. So if I was to ever write a series like that, I also have a character similar to her as like as a homage, and stuff. I go, okay, now here's how their relationship would have actually worked. Okay, now I've got the theme song stuck in my head. But some of the other shows I would watch would be the old Mission Impossible, not the Tom Cruise movies. Although I do like enjoy watching those from time to time. I can quite honestly say most of my time was spent watching cartoons, actually. Either that or Heartbeat. Same. A good crime show to police show to watch would be Trouble in Paradise. I love watching that when that comes on. So especially the earlier episodes with I'm trying to remember his name now. I think it was Neville. But he's a genius at solving crimes, but he's also sort of rather annoying in like very strange ways, and he always seems to be allergic to just about everything. And he really did not want to be on that island when they called him in. But so like for various reasons or another, he just sort of keeps getting dragged back there. When all he wanted to do that episode was just like go home. But he sort of ended up with a serious illness, which meant that he could not sort of fly back home. So he had to stay on the island a bit longer. And the commissioner is he doesn't exactly like him, but he respects his ability to solve crimes. Wasn't happy when his boat went missing. Yeah. thing, and then add a white highlight around the back of them. Just sort of help them stand out from the background a bit. Yeah. Be right back. Just shut before it closes. Absolutely asleep. That's okay. I mean, it's nearly 11. There are all night shops in. I think there are there actually any shops in the UK that are still open? Oh well. Could be an off license. It's about to show. Right. Might be an off license on Aldi's. On a Sunday? Seriously? Right, that reminds me of Operation Wolf on the Sega Master System. Remember that, or Shinobi? God, I missed the Master System. Such a fun system to play games on. I remember playing the first two Sonic the Hedgehog games on the Master System. I mean, they're very different to the Mega Drive versions. But the only versions I could find on compilations are the Game Gear versions, which isn't bad for Sonic 1, but when you get to Sonic 2 and you're in the underground zone trying to fight the first boss, it kind of becomes rather annoying because everything is all crunched down. You can't really see what's going on with the bouncing ball that keeps coming down. I mean, with the boss, supposed to be very simple in concept. You're on a slope. Hang on. You're basically on a slope. You got the boss sword down at the bottom. It's bouncing balls all the way up. No, it shoots a ball all the way up. It bounces down. But basically, what you just got to do is avoid the ball. But on the Game Gear version, you can't see what's going on the top half of the screen. You can only see what's going on the bottom half. So you can't see where the ball is bouncing about to. And as a result, you almost always hit it. Whereas if you could see the whole screen and properly track where the ball's going, the boss wouldn't be so much of a pain in the backside. Yeah. So in regards to Sonic 2, the Game Gear version is inferior because it makes the first boss nearly impossible to beat. I mean, I suppose you could just sort of tough it out a bit and use save states and all that, but where's the fun in that? Pretty sure it's an off-license somewhere he's gone to. Oh, lost 2 people. Sorry. Was the video game talk unexpected? Oh, we got. Is it YouTube doing like stupid things again? Did YouTube restart or something? We got some people back. I'm pretty sure I'm annoying people right now if I'm calling this in. I don't care about those people. Everyone has a process. I am back. Was it an off license you went to? Because I'm pretty sure that's the only shop that will be open this late. Talking about no shop. Yeah. So it's something like an Aldi's then. All right. An off license. Yeah, they were closing. Yeah. Well, an off license is technically a shop. And they usually sort of stay open very late. I know my local off license tends to stay open late as well, but I'm trying to think. No, it's just a local shop. All right. so basically a corner shop of some kind. Because I'm trying to figure out like what shop would be open this late on a Sunday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, shop is like a small market kind of shop. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know markets stayed open that way. So it's like a stall that they set up so down the streets, isn't it? Okay. Used to be a pub, but now it's a shop. Hmm. Well, at least it's still being used for something. Reminds me, I actually need to go look for a job somewhere. I mean, there's like a coffee shop around the corner I'm going to ask next week. Just look to see if they need any new staff or anything, because I'm just fed up with not having a job. Speaking of coffee shops, it still boggles my mind why the local Costa was allowed to close down. I mean, yeah, I mean, sort of like every time that I went past it, it was always busy. And yet, the moment that the outlet changed hands, Costa was shut down, basically. Staff were let go. Everyone was confused. What kind of job you like to do? I wouldn't mind doing a bit of hospitality. Hence why I kind of want to inquire at a couple of local coffee shops, see if they actually need anyone. Because I've had some experience working those coffee machines they have, or something like bar work, something that's steady and regular. But I'm very loath to do hotel work because that's very seasonal. And the problem with seasonal is sort of like once you leave the holiday season, basically the summer, and you head into autumn and winter, work kind of dries up a bit, and you're sort of left hanging until spring next year for tourists to start coming back in. Yeah. I still have no idea why Costa was allowed to close down in my area. It was a very good Costa as well. The staff were friendly. You always had foot traffic. There was always at least 30 to 40 people in that shop whenever I went past. So there was always business. And it just never made sense why it was allowed to close down. But do you know why? Because that shopping centre that it was in is going to be renovated. See if I can actually demonstrate here. So, coffee shop is about here. And you got the entrance here. You got a vape shop there. You got some like retail units. Got the local Morrisons here. Superdrug, more units. And hang on. Got toilets back here. So like the exit. That's basically it's like a rough overview of it. Hang on. I mean that's the Morrisons and all. But basically, this whole area is basically going to go. There's going to be a car park built here. There's going to be a new entrance to a Morrison's there. So I'm assuming that's going to be closed off here. Probably going to be a new entrance there. But somehow this is all going to be turned into sort of like a car park, stretching off about here-ish. And you want to know something stupid? I mean, yeah, there is sort of like a road sort of up that end, sort of somewhere there. But this street area is not suitable for fucking cars. I mean, I wish I could show you the area in question without doxing myself, but I don't see how you're going to get a car in here. I mean, I know there's like a road here, but you sort of got these barriers sort of erected. I mean, you got barriers sort of there. This is supposed to be a walkable street. I mean, you got a couple more shopping units there. As the street turns here. I mean, it's small barriers there. I really don't see how you can get a car in there. But all that is going to be a car park. And also, so got like a little plaza area here, and then a flipping main road. I'm trying to figure out how all of that is going to work. And you basically got it's a coffee shop. There's an art gallery there, a charity shop, a local Holland and Barrett's, travel agents, vape shop. Think I think there's a Specsavers. Got like the Works. Used to be a shoe zone there as well, I know. And there's also like a busy cafe that operates in the middle here. But nobody found out about this until about last month, basically. It was just our first upon us and was like, oh yeah, all this is going to happen, and no, you basically have no recourse to stop what's happening. So that is happening in my local area. I'm really pissed off with it, basically. I mean, you're getting rid of valuable retail spaces that you could use to run businesses out of. Nobody can afford. You should see what they did to the town. So they made a bike road that no one uses, and they made the traffic worse. Bloody hell. Quite honestly, if I was designing a whole town or city, or hell, even a country, I would prioritize overly efficient public transport and walkability. I mean, in Wales, if you're out in the sticks and you don't have your own private transport, you're basically fucked. And I know people like Ripper are always like, I don't see why I should have to pay taxes and all that. And they always sort of say, oh, privatization is always better than being publicly funded. But in this case, I think he's wrong. I would rather have a publicly funded transport system in my country as opposed to a privately funded one. Because at least then I know that I've got a means of actually getting anywhere. Because the thing with private companies is, if there's no profit, why should they bother? I mean, there's no profit in permanently curing somebody's illness, so I don't see how American healthcare systems actually work properly on that assumption alone. I mean, I can get how taxpayers' money can be abused as well. So I'm not an idiot. But I would find a way to make it work and to make it difficult to game the system. I mean, it'd be impossible to make it. It's not feasible to make it possible to not game the system because some people will always find a way. But I'll be damn sure to make it as difficult as possible. And if people do get caught trying to game the system, I'd make sure there's appropriate punishments in place. But I would be but if I was in charge of this country, prioritizing public transport and walkability. Because if people are stuck in the sticks, they're not going out to all the different towns and cities in Wales to spend their money. If they're not doing that, the country's economy dies, and we rely too much on tourism up north. We rely too much on it. I mean, the local theatre usually gets movies about a month later, and the local cinema is a couple of towns away, basically. So as far as seeing movies in this country is, as far as I'm concerned, people don't go to the cinema unless they absolutely have to. There's pixelation going on. So I normally judge how well a movie is doing based on the number of people I see in my local cinema. The Elvis movie did all right, I think. People definitely showed up for that. But a lot of the movies I saw, it was basically about half a dozen people at most. Just generally based on what I saw, but I can definitely guarantee you now, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 had an audience. People actually went to see that. People went to see the Avatar movies. Trust me, I saw both of them that year. The second one was released. I need to see that. Which one? Sonic 3? Oh, that is a brilliant movie. It's basically a retelling of Sonic Adventure 2, if you're familiar with that. There you go. Yeah, but that's all basically the what they're basing the plot off of. And I'm curious to see sort of like how I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I'm curious to see how Robotnik factors into the next movie, because Jim Carrey said he wants to come back and do Robotnik again for the fourth time. So that's going to be interesting. The third Avatar movie is going to be interesting as well. I definitely want to see that when it comes out. Yeah, that's the next one I'm going to watch. Now that you said it's good. But quite honestly, the only time I was a little concerned with their ability to do a good Sonic movie was with the first one. But after I saw the first one, not in theaters, funnily enough, I watched it on DVD. I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it. I saw the sequel in cinema. Absolutely loved that. And right at the end, when they showed Shadow, I could tell that the next movie was going to do good, because all the girls in the row behind me screamed, "Oh my god, it's Shadow!" That's a true story, by the way. Certainly made me jump. So I could already tell that Sonic 3 would do well. And Keanu Reeves did a great job at voicing Shadow. I was initially skeptical about Idris Elba doing Knuckles, but he did a good enough job. He made Knuckles his own character. Seems to be adopting a little bit of the Sonic Boom Knuckles, where he's not 100% bright, but also embodying like Knuckles' warrior spirit as well. I have to say, the funniest movie I've ever seen in the last few years, nothing has ever come close, not even Sonic 3, is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Big fan of Keanu Reeves. I mean, there is no other movie where a guy leaping over an office cubicle with his pants down and dive bombing onto a butt plug would ever make sense. But that sort of happened. It was the most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. But if you need an explanation, the power system in Everything Everywhere All at Once, you basically try to connect to a parallel self, and you have to perform a random task. Down 2 liters of fizzy pop. Eat chewing gum that's found underneath a desk. Give yourself 4 paper cuts. I don't know. Hit yourself over the head with a hammer. Or shove something up your butt, basically. But if you manage to pull off the random task, you can basically tap into the skills and physical capabilities of that parallel self that you're trying to tap into. So for these two guys that the main character is fighting, they're trying to tap into sort of like martial arts skills, and the random task was to shove something up their butt. And she's trying to stop one, and another guy is all leaping over the office cubicle, and he dive bombs right onto the butt plug. Why is a random butt plug there? Because the auditor woman who works at the IRS there has like about 4 of them in her little cubicle, but they're basically awards for doing a really good job at finding shit in people's accounting, basically. As she proudly shows them off to the mechanic and says, "Now you don't see one of those unless you've seen some real shit." But quite honestly, I have to wonder sort of like what the writers were thinking when they came up with that, and they had to explain it to the actor. Right, you're going to jump over this office cubicle, and you're going to dive bomb right onto the butt plug. and that's going to give you expert martial arts skills. And I could imagine the actors all looking at him going, okay, what shit have you been smoking? Where can I get some? If nobody believes me, watch it. That is a true thing that happens. I sort of feel I have to explain how that power system works every time I bring it up to people. Otherwise, they're just going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And the interesting thing about that movie is Jackie Chan was supposed to be in it, playing the part of Wang, if I remember his name correctly. But he was preoccupied with another movie that he was supposed to be doing. So they got the actor for who played Short Round in Temple of Doom. Do you think the actor said he can go? Said yes, that's the spirit. Honestly, I don't know, but they only had about 10 or so people doing the special effects, and they were very well done. I mean, it was damn near impossible to see where one scene began and the other sort of ended when they were doing transitions between the different realities. Yeah. The actor for Short Round from Temple of Doom was in it, and now I kind of want to see what other movies he's been in since then. I know if I'd wanted to see somebody beat up a IRF security guard with a fanny pack, though. I could definitely see why they originally wanted Jackie Chan to do it. He'd been right at home with that. Now, and what joke comic can I suggest for the Rippaverse next? Mm-hmm. Or is that the actor that played Short Round, Sammo Hung? It takes a while for names to stick in my mind. Now, I wonder what joke comic should I suggest for the Rippaverse next? I mean, I've already done the Beta Boys, Blackface, Cockburn, the Flabbiest Frogman, etc. Should I go with Moonblood, that time of the month hero? For the Rippaverse stream tomorrow that they're doing. The Beta Boys. Drinking soy lattes by day, bitching about Trump at night. Watching Portland burn down during the Summer of Love. They are, without doubt, the wokest heroes of the Rippaverse. I don't know why he doesn't hire me to write these great ideas. But in all seriousness, I definitely would do Blackface, the accidental racist superhero. With the joke being that he's like the whitest person ever. He kind of looks a bit like a skinhead. But his power is basically something akin to how Colossus coats his body in steel. But the metal he coats himself with is very, very dark. So it always looks like he's doing blackface. And he has the eternal struggle of sort of like, I want to help people, but they'll call me racist. The Beta Squad. Okay. Just got the shoes to do now. Superfirm powers virtual signaling. But here's the thing. Do they go around pizza powers to meet up with the lads? I mean, are their powers beholden to the vegan squad? Not vegan squad, the vegan police. If you watch Scott Pilgrim, you know who the vegan police are. Chicken not vegan? Chicken not vegan! Isn't there usually like a free strike for all of this, for these kind of things? Yes, actually. Chicken's not vegan. You accidentally ate this at the wrong, thinking it was something else. Also, that wasn't a soy latte. That's the henchman. I need to watch Scott Pilgrim again. It was such a fun movie. A bit bonkers in places, but definitely fun. I mean, they did try to compress the whole series down into one film, so that didn't really help it. But they had to gloss over a lot. I mean, the whole thing with Nega Scott at the end, that's a whole arc in and of itself, where he basically goes on a nature sabbatical with Kim, as he tries to figure out how to be less of an asshole to people and figure out like what he really wants in life. And then he sort of finds Nega Scott, and they sort of have this battles like in the forest. Even as Kim was like telling him, like, "No, stop! You shouldn't really fight." And at the end, it's like Scott acknowledges that Nega Scott is a part of him, and that he really has been like an asshole to the people around him. So at the end of the movie, they sort of bring in Nega Scott right at the end, and just when you think it's going to be a fight, it's like time skipping, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's a really chill guy." I mean, I get the whole point is that he's not actually supposed to fight it, but just acknowledge that part of him will always be an asshole, but he doesn't have to act on it. That was the whole point of Nega Scott, is that we've all got like a negative side to us. But I wish the movie just sort of elaborated a bit more on it. And again, that's what you get when you try to rush the whole thing in one movie instead of like opening it to about 2 or 3. Well, that said, I'm not really looking forward to the HBO Harry Potter series, because I know it's not going to be 100% faithful. Adaptation. What do you think for a name, Dr. Pegging? If you know, well, another bit of. Okay, now I'm gonna have to really think. I mean, there could be a villain group called the Social Justice Wankers. Their prerogative being that they exist to annoy people. You're really making me think now. I don't really tend to write villains as jokes, but I tend to like make them more serious. I like that one. Okay. It's not hard and fate, but they make it too easy. Yeah. And it's just like when I think of villains for characters, I always try to make sure that the villains are actually serious and they serve a purpose. I mean, we could always have one called, I think, actually, how do you make noping into a joke? Joking aside, I do agree. Yeah. Oh, that does work because there's a play on words. Yeah, noping, as in no penis. Yeah. Now, hang on, I'll write it for you. Noping. If you say it fast enough, it's like noping. It's like, nope, noping out of this one. He's the biggest coward ever. He hasn't got a pair. He speaks like his balls have not dropped. Yep. Or we could have big brain, but really he just has a really, really thick skull. And his brain's actually about that big. I know. No, we could make him Chinese, basically. Pea brain. Sounds like pecan, doesn't it? But he has like a really, really big head. But his brain's the size of a pea. That's a good idea. Okay. This will be very useful for colouring later. Remind me of Pinky and the Brain. That said, I also need to get back into reading second issue for Relentlessly Bullied Hero. I mean, the first one is good enough, but the personalities really shine in the character profiles. Right, I'm off to bed, mate. You have a good one. Okay, you too. Enjoy. I'll probably just finish up this and call it a night as well. Okay, nobody in at the moment. So I'm just going to finish this up. Probably work on this. Probably do some work on this tomorrow. Let's see if there's anything else he wants me to ink. Actually, I think I might just up the size for this, make it faster. Then somebody comes in right now and is like, oh, what did I miss? Basically the entire show. Like, well, Flushing is subscribed. Okay. Yeah. hate that stupid law thing. Okay. What are party people? Join ninjas, are we? Yeah, just doing a commission for DCC. I was supposed to be finishing up the stream. Probably going to go until about midnight, which is about under 10 minutes from now. Okay. What comic do you write, Nine Realms? Trying to remember now. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Ah, right, yes, it's Embrace, yes. I get you now. I was just remember what comic he did. Yeah, at the moment it's yeah, Elysian Fields Reborn. Fortunately, that's not really my jam at the moment. No worries. Yeah, I watched your stream on John's Longbox, and it's very interesting learning about Alexander the Great, etc. I will need opacity. Yeah, another figure you probably should study because he's fascinating from just how everyone around him managed to fuck things up. Have you heard of Sidney Fox, the Swedish Knight? He was basically the biggest pain in the ass for Napoleon Bonaparte. And he could have stopped Napoleon in the Middle East about... Oh, bloody hell. I hate it when it does this. Yeah. Here's actually, I mean, he could have stopped Napoleon in the Middle East much sooner had the British not thrown a hissy fit, because he did manage to organize an alliance between the various countries to Yeah, he could have been stopped earlier. And Napoleon hated Sidney Fox. So much so that when Sidney Fox had him imprisoned in one of his towers, he wrote on the binds about how at this moment in time that he's on the bottommost rung, but soon Napoleon would be on the bottommost rung and Sidney Fox would be on the top. So it's like a very interesting historical figure that you should probably look into. I'm surprised it's not talked about more in British history. I would have been fascinated with this guy as a kid. Don't know why I'm raising this. Yeah. Wonder if it's still to go. I'm surprised they didn't kill him sooner with all the wars that he started in Europe. I mean, I watch a lot of Sharp when I go to visit my grandparents. And what strikes me is like, how can people just let the enemy go like that? Bonaparte has done nothing but start wars in Europe, and you're just going to let him walk away scot-free. You know, you'd have to be mental. You suddenly fucking ended them, though. Not really sure about that. I do know that he because it was around the time of the French Revolution, wasn't it, when he started? And it's the only blunder he made really was the Peninsula War in Russia. Waterloo was his undoing because like at that point Europe really just had enough of him, basically. I mean, how many times did he try to take over the whole continent? 4, 5, 7 times? After a while, people just get fed up with him. I mean, you had like a lot of the French sort of going off to join him. But I mean, you sort of had you had the Dutch, you had the Spanish, I think, the Italians, the Polish, the Russians, the British, etc. Yeah, I'm telling you, well, the coalition deal was not the aggressive belligerents. But at some point, countries just have enough when you've got a warmonger sort of constantly escaping and starting wars. I mean, whether he was justified in making them or not is another question entirely that I am not qualified to answer because I honestly don't know. I just know he tried to conquer Europe. He tried to conquer the Middle East as well. He probably modeled himself off of Alexander the Great. Yeah. I quite enjoy mythology more as opposed to sort of like straight up history. I mean, I'm more for including obscure mythologies in stories. I mean, I watched the teaser for Gabriel and the Guardians that the Ripperverse channel put out. That looks amazing. And that's based on Mesopolitan mythology, which is basically sort of like stuff that informed the Bible, basically. Hercules. Well, I'm trying to incorporate aspects of Welsh mythology into sort of like my series, because how do you pronounce it? Because in my superhero series, especially when it comes to sort of like what's happening in Wales, I'm trying to incorporate aspects of Anaron, which basically roughly means other world. So they're basically superhero stories, but they've got a whole load of mysticism in them. Except for when they take place in the US, in which case it's more traditional superhero fare. But I'm also thinking of incorporating a bit of Norse mythology into it as well. By True Arthur. Nimu Woodin. I don't recognize the other two. I'm really leaning into the Welsh and Celtic mythology. At the moment, I'm reading up on the Irish mythologies. The names are really difficult to remember. Bloody hell. But I still find it hilarious that Ireland saw named Ireland. Nimi was Merlin's apprentice, also known as Vivian. Yeah. And she became Lady. Alright. I know as the Lady of the Lake, I didn't know what her actual name was. Yeah, hang on. Screen. Yeah, Merlin's actual name, if I remember correctly, is something like Meridium or something. I think it was sort of a very different kind of name that I wasn't. Oh, hang on. Should actually put this back up. So, but when it comes to like world building in my universe, if you check out before she needs to check out. When it comes to world building in my universe, I'm trying to take a few liberties here and there, but try and keep things consistent. But I'm still not sure how to incorporate the Christianity and Jewish aspects of it. I mean, I've got ideas, but I kind of want to make sure that I'm being consistent with the rules that I set up. But the last thing I want to do is sort of like play into the tropes that other companies have done, where they basically make finally I can put this back up now. they tried to like have so I mean, I do touch on a bit about Arthurian, or basically King Arthur and all that, but I don't want to say exactly what I'm doing with that just yet. But just know that it'll come up very, very soon if I actually get around to doing the Vigilante X series. Probably too much of a spoiler, actually, now I think about it. But the way I'm sort of trying to approach mythology is that, oh well, any mythology is that it's like one half of the truth. That some aspects have been forgotten over time or misremembered. And from there, you can sort of do more unique plots that aren't tied to specific things within the mythologies, giving me a bit more leeway. Um, and needs. Well, definitely knows like one thing that I definitely don't want to do is use cliche naming conventions for things. I mean, there's sort of like there definitely is sort of like a hell in the universe that I'm trying to write. But so like it doesn't really it's not really named hell, if that makes sense. I sort of refer to it as like Night Realm. Because terms like heaven and hell are sort of more what people on Earth would use. and not say somebody from Alpha Centauri, for example. Or Martians. They probably won't use the same terminology we would use. So when it comes to terminology, I'm trying to keep it done in it. You can't hop off it. Space is looking great. If you want to chat about the lawyer building. I might take you up on it, actually. Yep, I will. I just need to remember to finish the universe Bible I'm building out. Okay. Okay. Have a nice night. Bye. Stream off. Mm-hmm. don't have anyone else. It's past midnight. I need to go to sleep. Bye. How many